Hey guys, what's up? Brandon here, bringing you, believe it or not, some ProMod today. I decided this weekend to really give ProMod a fair try because John has been trying to get me to play it for a while, and I've only ever played maybe one or two games at a time before I kind of got bored or moved on to something else. So I really sat down this weekend and played ProMod for a few hours. I started off in American servers, but then I moved over to play on NetSky, and so this gameplay was on Backlot in NetSky. I think this was probably my best game of the day. I went like 3-1 kill death ratio in this game, and I didn't include all of the rounds because there were a lot of them, and that would have been like a 20 or 25 minute video. So I just picked out the rounds that I thought were most exciting. So I hope you enjoy the gameplay. Let me know in the comments if this is something you do want to see or maybe don't want to see. I just thought I would mix it up for you a little bit and give you something to tide us over before the Battlefield 3 beta and Tribes Ascend and all the other awesome games descending on us soon. So speaking of Battlefield 3, this was a pretty big week in beta news from EA and DICE. We got a hard start date for the open beta, so that's going to start on September 29th, just a few days from now. Or for the people who pre-ordered the game on Origin or bought the Medal of Honor Limited Edition, we will get to start on September 27th, which is just in a couple days here. So I'm really excited to finally get our hands on sort of a more polished version of Battlefield 3, because I think it's pretty much the consensus that the alpha didn't really represent much about the final game. I think that really was just a stress test for Battlelog and their back-end systems. So I think the beta is going to be a much better representation of what we can expect to see in the final game. Now, the other big news this week regarding the beta was that we finally got official system requirements for the game straight from DICE. And they're pretty much in line with what I expected, though I think a lot of people were surprised at just how high the requirements were, especially given in the alpha, a lot of people seem to be running it pretty well. But the alpha was missing a lot of the graphical eye candy that is going to be present in the final game. So let's roll through the requirements real quick. For minimum, you gotta have 2 gigs of memory, a dual-core processor, 20 gigs of hard drive space. I don't think any of that is really shocking. The minimum video card is a Radeon 3870 or a GeForce 8800 GT, and I mean, again, I would say those are pretty standard. If you do any serious gaming, you probably have at least an 8800 GT in your machine. Now, as for the recommended system requirements, they recommend 4 gigs of memory, a quad-core CPU, and a GTX 560 or Radeon 6950 video card. Now, the quad-core CPU part of that is pretty vague, considering I had a quad-core CPU 4 years ago, but it definitely does not hold a candle to the quad-core Sandy Bridge CPUs we have today. And that brings me to my next point, which is that, take these recommended system requirements with a grain of salt, because first, we don't know what recommended means. Okay, maybe it's medium settings, that seems to be kind of the consensus, but who knows? And if it is medium settings, we don't know what resolution they're talking about, and we don't know what frame rate they're talking about. So there's no context around what these requirements actually get you. So it's not really worth getting worked up and thinking you've got to upgrade immediately or do this or that, because the only way we're really going to know how the game runs and what kind of settings you get on which hardware is when people start getting the beta and we have real-world results. However, at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that a lot of people are going to want to upgrade their hardware in order to play on anything above medium settings. Based on the questions that DICE developers have answered on Twitter, it sounds as if a single GTX 580 is not going to be enough to run Battlefield 3 smoothly on ultra settings. So it sounds like you're probably looking at needing 2 or more mid to high-end video cards in SLI or Crossfire in order to really push the game's graphical boundaries and experience the Frostbite 2 engine in its full glory. Now, before this video ends, I do have one other thing I want to talk about, and that is the Extra Life Charity Gaming Marathon that KBMOD will be participating in on October 15th. I mentioned this in my last video, but sub boxes were broken. I don't know if everyone saw that and whatever. But since then, the KBMOD.com team has grown to 30 participants, and as I record this video, we have raised over $7,500 for local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So I want to say thank you to everyone that's contributed so far, and thank you to everyone that's joined us and participating and helping us raise money for this cause. So we'd love for you to get involved if you haven't already. You can join our team and participate if you want to game with us for 24 hours and help us raise money, or if you can donate. Any donation helps, even if it's just $1 or $2 here and there. I mean, that all adds up. If you can't donate, I know times are tough for a lot of people, but maybe if you know people that might be interested in donating, friends, family, coworkers, we'd really appreciate it if you would let them know about this and help us spread the word. So as I did in my last video, I will put a link to the KBMOD article that has more details, and also I'll put my donation link. And as a reminder, I'm playing for the Children's Medical Center of Dallas, so the other KBMOD participants are all playing in support of their local hospitals, and if you want to donate to one of them instead, that's certainly fine too. All of this money is going to a great cause, which is helping local hospitals care for sick children. Anyway, this gameplay is just about finished. I take out a couple guys here at the end to win our last round, but I'd really appreciate it if you would throw this video a like to help us spread the word and raise more money. Also, if you enjoy these types of videos, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and you can also follow me on Twitter. The link is below in the details section. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.